Welcome back to Smackdown, and what a shocking main event for tonight. Mr. Vermongo versus the Protector Apollo. Apparently Apollo is being reinstated and we're going to see him in the main event. But backstage, Yoshino with Brie Bella. Yoshino! I knew it! I knew it! You heard it from a cabinet member. Brie Bella's a slut, ladies and gentlemen. She can deny it all she wants. But we heard it from cabinet member Yamasaki Yoshino. Jesus Christ. Well, you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, that Yamasaki Yoshino is irate from this evening, taking a super kick, and now knows that his boss, Vermongo, is going to be taking on Apollo in the main event tonight. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, up next here, singles action with the Messiah of the MPWF himself, Joey Eagle. Joey Eagle, well, he was fantastic at the Royal Rumble. I mean, Joey Eagle just came into that matchup and showed his absolute domination. And when he hit that bloodline on Craig David, I swore to God that Craig David was going to be sent over the ropes and Joe Eagle was going to be heading to WrestleMania and challenging for that MPWF Undisputed Championship. But like we always say, anything can happen in the MPWF, and Superstar Craig David eventually eliminated Joe Eagle to win the entire Royal Rumble. Now Joe Eagle, you talk about someone who is irate, you talk about someone who is pissed off. Joe Eagle is friggin' pissed. This man is irate. He believed that he was gonna win the Royal Rumble. He said that he was gonna be at WrestleMania in the main event and challenging for that Undisputed Championship. Well, that's not happening, Joe Eagle. I'm sorry, but you got eliminated by Craig David, and you are no longer gonna be a part of that main event. And then on MPWF Raw Episode 9, the tribute to the troops, Joe Eagle took part in that 6-man tag team matchup, and he kind of stayed in the back. He didn't, he broke up the counts and stuff, but Joe Eagle wasn't in there, trying to bloodline everyone. Joe Eagle is still pissed off about what happened, and I feel bad for his opponent tonight, who will be Dr. Ice Jr. I mean, a big opportunity for Dr. Ice Jr. against a man the caliber of Joe Eagle. But when you're facing a man who is this pissed off and this great in the ring, I feel for you. Everybody, let's get ready for this matchup between Eagle and Dr. Ice Jr. And here is Dr. Ice Jr., ladies and gentlemen, the man who eliminated one half of the Natural Disasters, Smoke, showing off his strength. Like we said, since Dr. Ice Jr. has appeared here on SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, we've seen a new side of Dr. Ice Jr. Like I said, look at how dark Dr. Ice Jr. looks. This guy is in a different state here. I mean, he doesn't really talk to anybody at all. He still carries his father's clock to the ring. His father, the original Dr. Ice, former MPWF champion Dr. Ice Jr., plans on one day becoming the Undisputed Champion, the top dog like his father. But I mean, how do you communicate with a man like Dr. Ice Jr.? I mean, and what the hell is he carrying in that bag? I mean, what is that he is carrying with him to the ring? Well, quite frankly, you know that Joe Eagle could care less. He could give a damn. All he cares about is beating Dr. Ice Jr. tonight. Look at Dr. Ice Jr. showing off his strength here. And now Dr. Ice Jr. now punching Joe Eagle in the face. And now Ice now turning Eagle around. Now Irish Whip sending him to the turnbuckle. And now Dr. Ice Jr. looking for a monkey flip and hits on Joe Eagle. And Dr. Ice Jr. in control here against Joe Eagle. Dr. Ice Jr. definitely improved since coming to 2011. Oh, what a hip toss. I'm sorry, arm drag takeover there by Dr. Ice. Now punching Joe Eagle again. Changing his style up a bit in the ring as well. Joe Eagle now switching to a headlock. And now Joe Eagle going for that shin breaker. And it's going to start looking to work at that leg. We've seen Joe Eagle utilize that figure 4 leg lock quite effectively in recent weeks here in the MPWF. And look at these punches and kicks there by Joe Eagle. And now a knee to the face of Dr. Ice Jr. Now another knee there by Joe Eagle. Now Joe Eagle is going to start to get vicious. So you don't want to piss off Joe Eagle, especially when he's already angry. And now Eagle there. As the crowd's now starting to cheer Joe Eagle. I mean, it's almost come to a point where the fans are beginning to respect Joe Eagle. I mean, even though he comes off as a douchebag, I mean, they're starting to respect him in the ring for the stuff he's done. And now Dr. Ice Jr., oh my God! What the hell was that? Dr. Ice Jr. with a flying chop off the top rope and again, and connects one more time with Joe Eagle. I guess he landed badly there. Joe Eagle getting up, and I'm saying this unorthodox style of Dr. Rice Jr. And Joe Eagle went right back at that leg again. And now Joe Eagle now going for the camel clutch here. One of the most time-tested maneuvers in the entire MPWF. And look at him. Joe Eagle had up to a 5 count before he had to let go there. And now Joe Eagle, oh, what a punch there. And now look at this, attacking Dr. Rice Jr. with those punches. And now looking to hang it up in the ropes. And oh my God. Now Joe Eagle picking Ice Jr. back up. And now Irish Whip now sending Dr. Ice. Oh, I thought he was going into the ropes and what a neck breaker takedown there by Joe Eagle. Now Eagle picking him back up. Now Eagle throwing Ice Jr. back into the ropes. And now vicious clothesline there by Joe Eagle. You gotta wonder, what is Joe Eagle gonna do now that he's no longer gonna be a part of that Undisputed Championship matchup? I mean, last year Joe Eagle took on Tyrone Fitzgerald in one hell of a contest and in a brutal matchup. And look at that chop block there. I mean, will he take on someone else again in another grudge match? Or, I mean, will he be part of the Money in the Bank ladder matchup? That's a matchup Joe Eagle has never been a part of. Will we see him in the Money in the Bank? Will he compete for the YouTube Championship? Maybe for the Hardcore Championship? Could you imagine Joe Eagle in the Hardcore title? I don't know. But what a spine buster there by Joe Eagle as he completely turned this match around. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Bloodline. That pedigree-like maneuver as he drives Dr. Ice Jr. face first into the mat. I know Joe Eagle going for the cover here. And I'm afraid that is it. No one kicks out of the Bloodline. And that is it. Joe Eagle defeats Dr. Ice Jr. here now on MPWF Smackdown. And we said that Joe Eagle was irate. He was pissed off before this match began. And as soon as he started to build momentum, there was no stopping the former world champion Joe Eagle. And this Bloodline, one of the most devastating maneuvers in the entire MPWF, pins Dr. Ice Jr. on a great showing by Dr. Ice, showing that new unorthodox style of his. It definitely rattled Joe Eagle for parts of this matchup, but it wasn't enough to defeat the Messiah of the MPWF. So the question still remains, ladies and gentlemen, what is Joe Eagle going to do at WrestleMania? What is Joe Eagle's motives? What's on his agenda now heading into the biggest CPV of the year, the MPWF? We're not sure, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, a big victory for Joe Eagle. And again, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to tell you that this event, SmackDown, is sponsored by SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. It's your moment now, and Left 4 Dead 2. It's one badass game, but Joe Eagle picking up the microphone and now speaking to the audience. We told you he was pissed off that Craig David is heading to WrestleMania competing for the Undisputed Championship matchup. And ladies and gentlemen, the Money in the Bank ladder match does contain people with talent in it. Don't listen to that. But hang on a second here. Lethal Mathematics heading to the stage. And what is this about? Mathematics here. Oh my goodness, Lethal Mathematics laying down the challenge, wants to take on Joe Eagle at MPWF WrestleMania. And Joe Eagle accepts, ladies and gentlemen. All that has to happen now is the MPWF chairman has to give the okay. And we'll be seeing Joe Eagle versus Lethal Mathematics at MPWF WrestleMania. That could be a huge matchup, ladies and gentlemen. What an announcement! Eagle Mathematics WrestleMania 2010, WrestleMania 1 on YouTube. That could be one hell of a match, but now Yamasaki, how many times are we going to see this man backstage? I'm speaking to the MPWF chairman now. You hear that, Yoshino? He's the MPWF chairman, bitch. The MPWF chairman's a badass. Oh my god, if Mr. Vermongo doesn't show up, he's gonna be fired, ladies and gentlemen. Still to come, our main event. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This is one hell of an episode.